need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, I need it now. Told him on the lay. I've been moving, dog. Yeah, I'm on the way. I don't hear the talk. Don't care what they say. I don't got no patience. I can't ever wait. I've been trying to get it. Running up all these digits. And I've been in the gym. I've been up doing minutes. I just put in that work. Told them it's strictly business. And I see through the face. They all just burning bridges. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant. Need a triple double. Told him check the stats. Yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball. Now I never fumble. I'm the MVP. Now I feel like Russell. Yeah, they don't want it done like I want it, dog. Yeah, they say they want it, then they took the summer off. I've been going down the list, checking numbers off. I was checking on your numbers, told them something's off. I was at the bottom, now you know I'm climbing. Now they sending deals, they know I ain't signing. They been trying to sell it, they know I ain't buying. When they send a text, dog, I ain't replying. Feel like John Morant, need a triple double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell. Feel like John Morant, need a triple double. Told him check the stats, yeah, I got a couple. I don't drive the ball, now I never fumble. I'm the MVP, now I feel like Russell.
Yeah, head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test, now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, I can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving it energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call to quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve, stress, shit on my greed. That's how I get it, success ain't no giving. Some days I don't eat, I don't sleep. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous. They don't wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes. The opposition don't amaze. The roads racing through the pavement. Get your hands out of my bag. I know that's because I've been in it. I don't need to brag. I guess that's what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. If I'm out of my pocket, Houston, we got a problem. I ain't perfect, let them watch me. Elevating, got them nauseous. Cause I'm the pilot in the cockpit. Nose diving in the house and woo. Watch out, get ahead. Watch out, get ahead. Watch out, get ahead. Woo. Watch I set it up. Bet you I shut it down, watch I get a win. I don't think they really wanna come against the winner. Got a finger run up in a grenade. I ain't never been there when you think you compare. I'm a line, but the one about the cage. I need all the wins. Yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get it, no call and quits. Yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah. Better move out the way, cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all it is. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out.
Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late. Seen him down bad, now they tryna hate. Same one shot to hit me for the raise. Got a meal, now they coming with a blaze. Check the numbers, fam, I swear I'm getting paid. I'm a Don just like the Perrier. It's one time when I'm looking at a face. On the low like I'm pushing up the bass. Come down and I'll meet him at a gate. Got a check and I bought myself a place. They get some money and they blow it on bait. I don't flex but I'm pushing all the weight. Told them all I swear I got it's what it takes. Phone started jumping, what a day. Swear to God I need it, now I can't afford to wait. I just had a fan hit me up from Kuwait. Told him this would happen and we not a minute late.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On the road, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except for yesterday, because Mrs. Candles got me sick. And I went to bed yesterday, guys, and I think the earliest time I've ever gone to bed, I was in bed by like 7 o'clock Woke up at 9 o'clock for like an hour and then went back to bed. And I think I just slept it out of my system. But what is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you. I saw everybody asking if I was feeling better. I am definitely feeling much, much better than yesterday. But yeah, thank you guys all for being here. You guys have me cracking up in the chat today. Shout out to someone said they didn't like the music. Let me know what kind of music you guys like in the chat right now. Maybe we could do some requests. We got to keep it copyright free, so I only have a limited supply of music that we could pick from. But let me know. Maybe we could switch it up a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see if I can find any fire songs. But let me know what kind of music you guys like in the chat. And yeah, guys, today we're going to be talking about Bitcoin as we have had a bit of a spill to the downside. What is coming next? I want to cover a few different things here. I want to cover the overall longer-term analysis as we are continuously seeing that rejection from the macro golden pocket that we've been watching. And as you guys know, this is a little bit of a dangerous situation to be in because if we are going to put in a macro lower high with that higher time frame money flow coming out and then put in new lows, not like new all-time lows, but new lows here within the local trend, and we get the rejection here, there is one more level that I'm looking at that could potentially save us. It's kind of that last resort level of support. Will it be able to hold us up? Do we even have to worry about coming down there? We're going to be breaking it all down on tonight's live stream. We'll take a look at some of the altcoins as well. But first, let's go ahead and shout out that CandleMafia. Smash that like button, guys. Every 100 likes we get gives you guys some free chances to win some crypto. I almost said some fricto. Some crypto. So smash up that like button. 550 is what we're going for. Maybe we'll give away some extra hats if we hit 550 likes, or maybe we'll find something else to give away. Maybe this beautiful, beautiful chair that we have here in the studio. But yeah, shout out to Edward Torres. What is going on, bro? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. What is that emoji, bro? Oh, goal. That is a goal emoji. Shout out to you, bro. We got pressure drop in the chat. Hamza, what is going on, Hamza? Welcome in, brother. Let's see. But yo, he said 5:50. You talking about the current time? Shout out to Hamza. It is 5:49 on my computer, but it might be wrong. But yeah, let's see. What do we got? Starting off with 80 likes. Shout out to Ollie. I don't know how to say that. But shout out to you, bro. Smash that like button if you have not already. Shout out to E saying, damp it. Let's go. Send that thing to 0. Love from Bangladesh. Shout out to you, brother. Oh, God, I'm going to call you son. Shout out to you. I don't want to butcher your name too much. Shout out to Arizona said, you better marry Mrs. Candles. Shout out to Arizona said, you better marry Mrs. Candles, bud. My girl just left me after 10 years because I didn't know her. If you love her, I didn't know her. If you love her, of course. Shout out to Arizona, brother. I am so sorry about that. And I will say this, guys. If you're going to be out there sniffing hands, if you didn't see my post yesterday, please use safety. Please use protection when you are sniffing hands, guys. And what we are talking about is a waft. A lot of times you guys see me stick Mrs. Candle's hand right up to my nose. Not a good idea here. You want to waft. It's a little bit safer. I think that's how I got sick. I was getting too close to those hands. But yeah, shout out to all the hand savers out there. We got Donato Cabrera in the chat. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to Spanky X. Says, Frankie, you better show that calf for max gains. You got it, Spanky. Let's do it. We had to skip the stream last night. We got to show a little bit of calf, right? We got to give it up here. I don't know if I can get my leg up this high, but let's try. Oh, yeah, baby. There's that calf. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. We got Brian in the chat. Do you analyze Sheeb? Shout out to Brian. Well, I tell you what, I don't typically analyze Sheeb. I don't know why that was so hard to say. But I'll tell you what, bro. If you want to see Sheeb, I just wrote it down, so we'll take a look at it for you tonight. We got B-Rad Crypto in the chat. Said, Uncle Frankie spitting that sauce. Shout out to B-Rad. Thank you for being here. And I don't think I ever said this, guys. I actually have a niece on the way, actually arriving pretty soon. We made a big deal over my nephew, but I do have a niece on the way as well, so that's coming down the pipes. But give us some good news, Frankie. Shout out to Tom. All right, let's go ahead and jump on in here, guys. I'm going to try to give you guys good news, but we're going to say what's on the charts, and then we'll try to decide if it's good news or bad news. But let's go ahead. Luckily, we can go ahead and long or short and make money both ways, so it should be good news either way. So let's go ahead and jump on in. Let's get it. So here we are on the Bitcoin chart. 57K BTC. Shout out to Jimmy. Well, it's Jim E, but I call him Jimmy. Let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead. Yo, shout out to K Diggity said coming down the pipes. Bro, that's crazy. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Philly Skills said at least you're not smoking pipes. Shout out to you guys. All right, I'm going to come back to chat in a second here, guys, but let's go ahead and jump on in here. First off, I want to take a look at the higher time frames, right? Now, before we pull up Market Cipher B, I kind of just want to take a look at what we are seeing happen here. And my main goal here, guys, is to hopefully show you guys that analysis plays out in general, right? Whether you're doing my style of technical analysis using the volume profiles with Fibonacci's, or you're looking at something else, hopefully this gives you guys at least some kind of confidence to see the TA play out. And it happens time and time again, right? Now, not 100% of the time, but oftentimes it does wind up playing out. And as you guys know, all the way from back here, as we got that drop down to $49,000, we were looking at the bounce here, although very strong, we were looking at this as a potential retracement, right? And the reason we were looking at it as a potential retracement, I'm actually going to pull up Market Cipher really quickly here. The reason we were looking at this as a potential retracement to potentially put in a lower high and continue the downtrend, which is not the case just yet, but I do want to talk about this, right? Because whether we get the retracement into this golden pocket, the lower high, and then a lower low for the breaker structure to the downside, whether we get that or not, you guys can see that by using that analysis, we were able to get a very, very strong level of resistance, right? And although we may not come down and make that lower low, right? We're going to talk a little bit about that a little deeper into the stream here, but you guys can see we have gotten a pretty nice rejection here of about, let's go ahead and measure it up here real quick, of about 10%, right? So if you're out there and you're longing and shorting the market like we do on this channel, and now I am not currently in many trades. I talked about this on a couple other live streams. I've actually been a little bit less, the frequency of my trades have been a little bit lower as we have been seeing a lot of mixed signals, and I really only like to take the highest probability trades. But as you guys can see here, right, we come up to that key level, and whether we get that lower low or not is one thing, but you guys can see we had that nice 10% move, and you know, you don't always have to short things or long things to put in another high or another low, right? This is plenty of room to get into a trade, take some profit off the table, maybe move your stop loss to break even, and then if you get that move down, you could capitalize on that bigger trade, or if it comes back up, you will simply get stopped out in profit. And typically, that is the situation I'm in when I'm in trades, right? I usually take profit, move my stop loss to entry or into profit. That way I could either capitalize on the extra gains, holding a portion of that trade, or if price goes against me, I'll just get stopped out, making a small amount of profit, right? So, you know, and here we are, right? We got that retracement up, and where are we getting that reaction from? Right from the golden pocket value area low confluence, right? We have the value area low sitting at 61.2, and then that golden pocket is sitting between about, you know, almost 62K, which gives us that nice little zone for a rejection. Now, we also, I do believe, that we also had a, was it a daily level, I believe? Or, yeah, we also had this daily level up here that we wound up rejecting again, right? So, you know, here we are, right? With that rejection, with that pullback, and I just hope this kind of opens everybody's eyes to the analysis, right? You know, when you get these big pumps to the upside, everybody just thinks it's going to continue up in a straight line, which is not always the case, right? So we are in an interesting situation here where we are getting that rejection from our first major key level of resistance. This is why you want to make sure you subscribe to the channel and you're watching these live streams, guys, because all these levels are given on this live stream for 100% free. And I'm not gonna lie, you might want to have these on your chart from, you know, if you're looking to get into some trades, right? Now, I'm not gonna give you the actual setups, but you know, these levels are oftentimes very reactive. So now again, just because we're getting this rejection does not mean we're coming down to make the lower low. But I am going to talk about that situation in just a second. But locally here, you know, or I should say not locally, in the longer term here, guys, the reason we were looking at this as a retracement was simply because of that money flow on the higher time frames, right? The daily, the 2-day, the 3-day money flow. 2-day money flow is already in the red. We now have a fresh red dot here. It's not confirmed just yet. So we may, you know, we have 2 hours and 3 minutes here. Or is that? Yeah, 2 hours and 3 minutes here to confirm that next red dot. So that could potentially continue us down here a bit. But really what I'm looking at here on the higher time frames is money flow, right? You know, as this money flow, we've been looking at this for quite some time. This is kind of what helped us predict, right, not only that we were going to get this pullback, but it also predicted this lower high for another push to the downside to break that structure to lower prices once again, right? It's kind of the same exact situation we're in right now. I talk about this almost every live stream recently. You know, it's the same exact thing, right? Money flow was coming out. That made the pump a very likely lackluster push to the upside to put in a lower high and continue down. And what happened? We came up, we got a rejection at the 786 fib, broke structure to the downside, and now we are in that exact same situation here with money flow continuing to come to the downside, indicating that the longer term trend may continue down. Money flow indicates a longer term trend, right? Not the ebbs and the flows, not these little ups and downs, but the overall trend of the market, right? So if we see this crossover into the red, Where's that lower high likely to come in? It's either this golden pocket or that 786, and you guys can see we are rejecting that golden pocket. So again, whether we make that low or not, this is still very useful technical analysis to be having on your chart to predict these moves, because you could easily get into some shorter term trades, even if we wind up putting in a higher low here and continuing up. You could always capitalize on that move down. So money flow on the higher dailies are still looking a little bit sketchy here. We do have those VWAPs coming up, so, you know, if we are going to get a higher low here and another big move up, you know, I would think that these next higher daily time frame green dots may be the thing to give us the move, but we are getting rejected here at the 0 line on the 3-day. 4-day is somewhat approaching, but again, money flow still continuing to the downside. 5-day starting to roll back out. 6-day. Actually, 6-day doesn't look that bad, to be honest. It's kind of coming up here, but again, this will take a lot of time to develop, so keep that in mind. And then the weekly, nothing really to pull away from here. You know, VWAP kind of coming up, but nothing really too crazy to, you know, really give you a, you know, an edge in your decision making, right? But really, what I wanted to look at here was that 3-day money flow, just about looking for that crossover into the red. So my longer term analysis, guys, or my longer term sentiment essentially remains the same as it's been, right? We are definitely in danger of putting in a lower high and breaking down to the lower prices based off higher time frame money flow, right? Whether we get the lower high here or that 786, we have a lot of resistance ahead of us, guys, to be quite honest, right? Even if we get back in this value area low, you know, we still have all this resistance. We have the POC at 67K. We have the 786, as well as, what was the confluence? Yeah, plus this daily up here, 65.4, all the way down to about 64.7. You know, another big level of resistance here. So we do still have a lot of work to do to get back into this range and continue up. But the first level we have to flip remains exactly the same, right? Value area low, golden pocket, I would say about $62,000. Once we can get above that level, that's where we can anticipate 65 to 66K, which is what we were looking at, not on last night's live stream because we weren't live, but the day before, right? We were looking at that move up to this 786, but we got to get above that value area low first. So, you know, all that remains the same. Longer term analysis remains the same. Money flow still coming out, potential lower highs incoming. But let's go ahead and jump on down to these lower time frames and see if there's anything that is pointing in the opposite direction. Well, we got a fresh red dot on the daily. Unfortunately, I said I was going to give you guys some good news. I'm going to try here, guys. I'm going to try. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Wick 589, the BTC Perky price. Shout out to Wick 589. Let's go. Changing those names. I love it. But yeah, the red dot here on the daily, right? And as you guys know, when we have that red dot on the daily, I like to come down to that 90-minute and check on money flow. Because if you have that daily red dot with that 90-minute money flow crossing over into the red, sometimes that can give you a bigger move down. And to be honest, we don't really have that confluence. Excuse me, money flow is coming out here on the 90-minute, but we did just put in a bullish divergence here. I'll say this, guys, right? Like, looking at this daily, especially with money flow yanking back to the downside, right? Fresh red dot, not impossible to continue down here, but again, you know, hyper locally, you know, lower time frames here. It's coming out a little bit lower. 2 hour here, looking for a potential bullish divergence. You know, we didn't get an SFP of these lows. We barely swing failed this on the 1 hour, right? If I go ahead and show this, this is typically a pretty simple trade setup. Actually, let me pull up the Frankie Candles Essentials. Shout out to my indicator in collaboration with Lux Algo, who is a sponsor of the channel. Check him out, guys. Lux Algo makes a bunch of really good premium indicators and over 150, I think like 200 free indicators if you guys want to check them out. Link in the description down below. But I'm going to go ahead and pull this volume profile real quick. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to hide these fib levels just to clean up the chart a bit. But as you guys can see here, putting in a potential bullish divergence on, whoops, that's not what I wanted. Bullish divergence here on the 2 hour. Now, again, I will say money flow, not necessarily super confluent here, but I do think you can get a little bit more of a local bounce here. If you do get that bullish divergence here on the 2 hour. Money flow starting to come back to the upside as well. But again, this is in the short term, guys, right? You know, it was the same situation here. We actually took a scalp in the premium Discord earlier today. Let me see here, right? So as we were deviating below this value area low, we were starting to put in some lower time frame bullish divergences. And you can see some sauce can emojis here as well, some sauce can signals. But we were getting some local bullish divergences here, which wound up being a pretty nice play, right? We got the bull divs, right? We came back up into the value area low, flipped it to support, got a little bit of a move up, and then we just wound up rejecting at about 59.8 or 59.9 for that next big drop to the downside. And shout out to the premium. I don't know if anybody in the premium is in here right now, But shout out to you guys. They dropped in like as we were hitting this level. I was like, guys, this level might be a TP for other reasons than the trading view chart. We actually had, maybe I could actually pull this up. Maybe this will be a little bit of educational for everybody. As we were looking at price, let me pull this up. Bada boom. I know this looks super confusing, guys. Bear with me. Let me clean it up here just to make it a little bit easier to see. Don't worry about the actual footprint charts. But we did have these single prints sitting up here, these typically act as resistance until you break into them, and then they can fill very quickly to the upside, kind of similar to a low volume gap. But we had that as well as the anchored VWAP here, all the way from the top of the range. As we were approaching that, I was like, guys, that might be a good TP up here if we do get up there. I did not expect that. I could even get rid of the VWAP. Really, what I was looking at was the single prints. I did not think it was going to reject it like to the dollar like that, but was pretty nice to see. Unfortunate, though, because we only hit the TP1. But either way, right, you see those bullish divergences as you deviate below your volume profile, and then you look to ride up to your value area low, which is your first kind of key level of resistance. And then once you flip that, you could look to maybe start your journey to the POC. Obviously, it wasn't the case this time, right? This is actually one of those rare scenarios where your volume profile doesn't just play out like a book, right? Usually, it's like you get the bullish signal below the low, you go right to the POC, right to the high, right? And then you get a deviation above the high, you look to go to the POC, back to the low, right? This is a rare occurrence where you do see these not play out. And I know I talk about these a lot, and I like to show you guys, right, that they do not play out 100% of the time. They may play out a lot, but it is not 100% of the time. There's nothing out there that's going to have a 100% hit rate. And I do like to showcase when this doesn't work, right, because I don't want anyone getting like too confident just off the volume profile. But obviously, they do play out more than they don't, right? And just to be clear here with the volume profiles, guys, really the first major target, if you are long from the value area low, is the POC, right? That's kind of the safer bet. And then if you flip that POC, you could look to fill the range in whole, right? Or in full, I should say, not in whole. But anyway, so locally, if we get that 2 hour bullish divergence to print, maybe we can continue up here. But I will be honest with you, let's pull our local fib from the high to the low, right? Like we now have some pretty interesting resistance here between the 786 value area low and the golden pocket. Now the zone is ranging. Let me go ahead and pull that like this. Right, so this is now local resistance. If we do wind up getting them push up here, could put in another lower high and then continue that move down. So just be careful. But it is nice, right? Because once you start flipping that 786, then at that point you could potentially look up towards that POC. But just understand that, right? That 2 hour bull div, right? Local bounce potential, right? But understand that daily money flow continuing out. Even the, let's see here, 4 and 5 hour money flow still not looking horrible. You're getting a little bit of a rejection here. I would look for a local bounce, but honestly, guys, the longer term sentiment remains just about the same, right? Like that higher money flow, higher time frame money flow is still coming out. We have to be careful here, especially with all the resistance that we're approaching right now. So let me come down to a lower time frame, and let me just get those levels over to you guys. Here's the other thing too, right? Just barely on the 1 hour time frame here. What I was looking for here was an SFP potentially of this wick, right? And I would have been actually willing to take a trade there if I did wind up getting that. But unfortunately, come on. There we go. Is this a joke? There we go. Oh, my God, I'm getting trolled, guys. I'm getting trolled. But yeah, we kind of swing failed it, right? You didn't get the full closure above your level. The order flow confirmations weren't really there for me either, but it still would have been a decent trade. But again, I am being more picky with the scalps here, to be quite honest with you guys. But yeah, there you go. That is what I'm looking at. 2 hour bull div may be able to give us a continued bounce. Key level of resistance or local resistance, 58,364 to 59K. Really got to get above 59K. Honestly, maybe flip this high as well. But yeah, once you get above 59K, you're back in your volume profile. You could look to go to the POC and potentially back up to that value area high. So there you go. That is what I'm looking at locally. Let me go ahead and check in on chat. Shout out to Vacation Time. Said, don't let this distract you from the fact that Hector is going to be running 3 Honda Civics with spoon engines. And on top of that, he just went to Harry's and bought 3 T66 turbos with NOS and a Motec system exhaust. Shout out to Vacation Time. If you guys know, you know. It's a quote from a movie. Let me know in the chat if you guys know what movie that's from. But yeah, let's see. Shout out to Lars said, have we formed a nice, juicy Kim K double bottom on the 2 hour chart? Bullish question mark? What I would be looking at is the divergence here. But again, I would look at that as a shorter term signal, right? And the interesting thing here for me, And I'm going to show you guys. We're going to pull up the liquidation heat maps real quick. I'm actually going to pull off the Frankie Candles Essentials indicator. By the way, if you guys want to get that, it's 100% free. Just search my name in your indicator section of TradingView. Bada boom. No strings attached, no email, no phone number, no nothing. Just click on it and add it right to your chart. But let me get rid of these levels real quick. Bada boom. And yeah, I want to talk about the last level of resistance that I am willing to look at for a potential higher low and a continuation up, right? That 2-hour bull div is not going to give us a bigger move up, and we do continue the local trend to the downside here. There's a very specific level I'm looking at, and yes, it has to do with the Fibonacci levels, right? If you pull your fib from the low all the way to the high here, right here, we have this nice area of confluence. Now, there are a couple other levels. 55K, you do have a daily. But right here, we have a daily and a golden pocket confluence. Turn this blue. Right, so right here, sitting between about 54 and 53.3, in my opinion, right, just like when we were looking at price retracing here in the higher time frames, right, looking for that lower high to potentially come in at that golden pocket, it's basically the same thing, right, but in the opposite direction. If we're going to come down here in the local trend and put in a higher low, I would be looking at that around 54,000, between 54 and 53,350. Right? I'll just pull these levels up so you guys can actually see them, these two blue numbers. If we do come down there, we would have an opportunity to continue a move to the upside, keeping that higher low intact, getting that push to the upside. Now, if we wind up losing this level, you might be thinking to yourself, well, Frank, you have the 786 down there, right? Like, can't we either put the higher low here or potentially here? And the answer to that question is yes. The reason I like this level is because there's just more confluence here, right? Golden pocket daily, and then you have that daily right above, right? So 786 could potentially hold you up, but I would really like to see that this golden pocket hold and the daily, right? And that's kind of the last level of defense, because if we start getting underneath this and that 786 doesn't hold us, next level to the downside, guys. I mean, and in that case, right, the longer-term time frames would have been correct with the money flow coming out, and this was indeed a lower high, and again, this is if we come down, right, and we don't hold this level, right? There's still opportunities to bounce here. But if that does wind up happening, we lose that 786, right, and we do put in that lower low, you might be thinking to yourself, how bad is this thing going to get? And we've shown this level a million times on the show, and it's very similar to the 51 to 52K level, right, which everyone was like, shut up, dude. We're not going to 51 to 52K. Don't tell me that. And then we wound up just putting in the lower high and coming down there. So if that is going to play out again, the next key levels I'm looking at, there's two very specific levels. And I'm actually going to, let me pull up my face cam real quick, because I'm going to pull up a premium chart here real quick, but I don't want to leak any secret setups or anything like that. It wouldn't be fair to the people who pay. But let me go ahead and show you guys kind of those next targets, right? So here we are. So let me go ahead and pop this off. All right, so if we do wind up getting back down there, right, we lose this macro. And here's the funny thing too, right? This macro golden pocket, when pulled, let me pull up the daily to clean things up a bit, right? I actually showed these levels the other day. This golden pocket, this golden pocket is pulled from this low right here. Reason being is because it was the impulse that broke the previous ETF highs, right, when the ETF was approved right here. So pulling your fib from here to the high gives you this golden pocket and 786, right? And what happened, right? We came down, got the first bounce here on the 4th of July, right, at 53K. 53K, right? Got the bounce from there, right? And then we continued down, lost the golden pocket. And when you lose a golden pocket, where are you looking for price to go? It's probably going to go hunt out that 786. And if you look here, we tapped that 786 almost to the dollar. Absolutely insane. But if we do wind up coming down, right, you still have that kind of backup support of this macro golden pocket sitting here as well. Now, is it already tapped? Yes. But we already bounced off it once, twice, right? So you come down for that third time, it does get a little sketchy. And then, again, where's that next place we're going to look? Well, there's two things here, right? The 786 is sitting at about 49K, but we've already tapped that for the bounce. So the next levels I would be looking at is this weekly naked point of control coming in at $57,500, right? And we actually do also have a daily naked point of control down there as well, right? So between 47.5 and 42.57, definitely going to be a big level. So if, right, trading is an if this and that statement. Hopefully, we could come up and put that higher low in and just come up to higher prices. But if we are going to see that higher time frame money flow play out, we are going to get the lower low in the break of structure. This is going to be that next key level of support that I'm looking at, right? And, if we lose this, right, we obviously have the naked volume profile sitting down here between, $44 and about $40,000. I'm not calling for this, right, but I'm just saying if that were to happen, these are the levels I'm going to be watching. We show these many times on the show. So that's what I'm looking at for the bearish case, and that's that last level of defense, right? About $54,000 if you want to mark out an even level on your chart. $54K, we really want to hold that if we don't want the bigger downside, right? And assuming that local 786 does not hold us up here at 51.5. But again, the reason, right, so it's not just like, oh, I like this level better because $54,000 sounds like a good number, right? It's because we have a literal reason that this would be a stronger level, right? You have the daily level. I think that's about it. I think it's just a daily. Let me see here. Bada boom. It's just the daily. There's no weekly. We have a tapped weekly on the 786, but again, that is a tapped level, so I don't put as much weight on that. Check monthly. No, yeah. So, it is also actually one other thing it is confluent with. That 786 is confluent with the low of our bull flag. But again, that's not really significant, right? Really what I would look at is the daily and golden pocket confluence. So there you go, guys. That is what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. Now, real quick, before we move on, I do want to pull up the liquidation heat maps really quickly, right? Let me start off on the higher time frames. Let's come on down here to the 3-month. And I'll make this full screen. Bada boom, right? So you can see here, most of our liquidity is sitting above here on the higher time frames. But right down here in that $48,000 level, right below these lows, we do have some liquidity sitting. So if we did get the move down there, could potentially go down. Just another reason to potentially look for a sweep of those lows. Let me hide this, or not hide it, but make it smaller. And then if we come up to the, let me see here. Yeah, these are almost the same. You can see a little bit of liquid. And then, if we look here, right, if we are going to get that continuation to the downside, let me change the granularity on this a little bit. Pull that out, make it a little bit, there you go, right? You do have some liquidity sitting down here at 54K, but really the significant level is below these current lows at 49,000, right? Which could easily bring you down, 47. We have another little cluster here. And again, this isn't really significant liquidity, but it is there, right? Which is interesting. Just another reason to kind of look down there if we do get the move. And let me see. Yeah, but obviously, most of that liquidity really is sitting up here above 70K, right? So I would like to see the move up as much as anybody else, right? Oh, yeah, the 7-day, if I pull this up, you can see it a little better. Bada boom, right? So we came down. We had some liquidity here, 57, came down, took all this. Next little cluster of liquidity is sitting in that $54,000 zone, right? I'll zoom in. I keep forgetting I could zoom in now. Shout out to High Block. But yeah, sitting between about, 55 all the way down to about 54.5. Definitely have some liquidity down there, even a little bit lower. So unless we come down, clean this liquidity, and get the big move up, definitely a danger coming down here to the 48 to 47K level. And again, it's all backed up by the actual traditional analysis, having those key levels down here. And then we do have honestly, guys, like I've been saying this, right? The bigger level of support is down here, right? There's much more consolidation here. We have like 15 naked points of controls. We have a bunch of levels here. I believe we have a monthly level down there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you have a monthly horizontal level down there. There's a lot of support down here. So, and remember, right? A lot of people ask me like, hey, if that happens, is the bull market over? In my opinion, no, right? In my opinion, I would see that as an opportunity, right? Unless there was some kind of black swan going on where like it's a global financial crisis or something like that. Even in that case, it doesn't necessarily instantly mean the bull market's over. But if we did come down there, we could still potentially put in that higher low and continue the bullish market structure on the higher time frames, right? So just keep that in mind. If we did come down there, it's not like it's all over. It might be, right? But not just because we go down there. We'd have to reassess the situation if we got down there. But there you go, right? That's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin, guys. Again, bullish case. Hopefully, we just get the move up. And then, still, you got to flip this key level. So key level to the upside, 61 to 62K. Flip that to support, 65 to 66K is likely. And then if we get this move down to 54 and we lose it, more downside likely, in my opinion, right? So there you go. The one thing we have on our side for the bulls is this 4-hour money flow. If we could get this VWAP up, 4-hour money flow still looks pretty good. 5-hour money flow, although rounding off here, once you get another green dot, like this money flow is still generally trending to the upside. So we'll have to see what it gives us. But let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Said, like number 198 is mine. Nobody touch it. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Don't forget to smash that like button, guys. 550 likes on tonight's live stream. I will give away 5 Frankie Candles hats. These are basically giveaways at this point. Shout out to Mark Dutch. 550 is what we're going for. On the count of 3, hit that like button. What are we at right now? Let's check it. 206. Let's get to 270 in the next 3 seconds. Everybody, let's see if we can glitch it. YouTube, oh my God, it already jumped up 214. All right, so let's try to get 300 likes in the next 3 minutes. By 6:20, let's get 250, 300 likes, and let's all hit it on the count of 3. I can't do it, unfortunately. It won't let me like my own video, which, by the way, seems like a scam. Let me like my own videos. Come on. But on the count of 3, smash that like button. Let's see if we can glitch this thing to 300. 3, 2, 1. Smash that like button. 238, 259. Yo, that's so lit. It just like jumps up. That's fire. I love that. It's like the power of the Mafia come together. 259. Smash it again. Come on. We could jump it up to 289, 290. We're almost at 300. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, 300. I didn't think. We're doing it in like 30 seconds here. 289. Let's jump it up to 300. 618. Come on. Smash a like. Shout out to Gene. 305, baby. Let's go. Shout out to you guys. Let's get it. 305 likes. I didn't expect that to happen so fast. Shout out to you guys. You guys are the best. 306. Sheesh. Yeah. Shout out to Pity the Fool. Shout out to you, bro. I did not expect that to happen so fast. Shout out to Wick's wife, Fine89. Said Frankie would be a good auctioneer. Wick's wife. I get that a lot. I get that all the time. Auctioneer, radio show host. I think I'd probably be a better auctioneer than a radio show host. But, yeah, I'd be down to do that. Drink some Aztec and Cactus Moss Water. Auction off some Bitcoin. Do I hear 57,496, 57,496, 57,496, 56K, 56K. Sold to the man, sold to the wife of Wick. Shout out to you guys. But yeah, with all those, those hats are clean, bro. Shout out to Chiz. Shout out to you, bro. They are on FrankieCandlesTrading.com if you want to check them out. You can buy them, but we also do, if we hit our like goals, we do give them away. But if you go to FrankieCandlesTrading.com, you can see all the different colors that we have. That is not what I wanted to do. But yeah, Tony D, if you could drop the link to the website, you guys could check out all the different colors we have. But if we get 550 on today's live stream, I'll give away, did I say 3 or 5? I don't know. Let Tyler Durden pick. But let's see. All right, yeah, so if you guys want to see your favorite altcoins, go ahead and drop them in the chat right now. Rob the Crypto Snob will count up the votes and let us know what we're looking at. I'm going to start off. We're already going to do Sheep. We're going to do Ethereum. We'll probably take a look at Solana and XRP, let's be honest. And then, yeah, drop your favorite altcoins. Rob the Crypto Snob, or Rob's here. I saw him. Shout out to Rob. Show some appreciation to our mods in the chat, guys. They help us out infinitely on this YouTube channel. So show them some love. Howdy, Candle Dude. Shout out to Kerry Stressel. What is going on? Thank you for being here. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at Ethereum. So Ethereum going to 0, guys. It is going to 0. I am just kidding. I probably shouldn't joke like that because I feel like that might make some people nervous. Let me organize this a little bit. I'll put this in a folder. Bada boom. Okay. There's actually a very specific context. Yeah, rejecting the spider line pretty nicely, to be honest with you. Bear with me, guys. Bear with me. So, yeah, as you guys can see, just to give a little context here. Shout out to Derelict. Let's go. What's up, bro? Good to see you in here. Oh, God, the alts are coming in. Let's go. Shout out to Rob. Yeah, reporting for duty. Let's go. Shout out to you, bro. But, yeah, just to give a little bit of context to what's going on here, guys. Very simply put, Ethereum was in an interesting situation, right? Because as we look, there's 2 major ranges that I'm looking at here, right? Especially with these spider lines. These spider lines on ETH have been absolutely insane, right? Like, these have been pretty well respected, both of these, for a while, right? We just kind of bounce along these. As long as we were able to stay above this, we were continuing up, right? And then again, like, shout out to the spider line. Shout out to CryptoFace. I don't know if CryptoFace looks at spider lines on ETH. I assume he probably does. But I draw these very similarly to how I draw how you draw the Bitcoin spider lines. But you can see they work just as well, right? So, when you get this drop to the downside, where do we get the support? Right on the spider line, right? People say like, trend lines don't work, spider lines don't work. Tell that to the price action, But very simply put, we have this range between about, $3,500 all the way down to about $2,000. And this is the range from the top of the bull market. And you can see that value area low was resistance, right? Until we got above and flipped it to support, and that's where you're expecting the POC and the value area high. And then we deviated, got back into the range, deviated again, came back into the range. Once we couldn't get back above that value area high, that is where you're looking for that POC and potentially the value area low to come in. We front ran the value area low just slightly, but you could see, right, that perfect rejection on the value area high gives you that move down to the POC. And this macro POC was holding beautifully as support. And I'll be honest, it's definitely the key level to the downside, right? And this level was pulled all the way from 2022 or 2021, 2022. And look at that level, how it's respected, right? If we lose this level, if we come back down, right, we're finding resistance on the spider. We found support on the spider line, back up, right? And now we're finding resistance on the spider line. If we continue down here and we lose this POC, right, that's kind of what opens up the door to potentially come down to the value area low if your spider line doesn't save you, right? So this is kind of the macro context, right? We rejected the high. We went down to the POC, right? So that POC is now key support. And if we lose it, value area low is likely, sitting at $2,000, $2,029, right? So that's kind of the macro context. And daily red dot looking to print, right? So not impossible to get a little push down here, right? Especially if the 90-minute money flow comes out, which it looks like maybe it will, right? It's somewhat trending to the downside. But within the local... yeah, we'll take a look at the local levels in just a second. But that's kind of the macro context, right? Like, if we start losing $2,000, that would be super bearish, in my opinion. I'll be honest, like, kind of shocked that ETH came all the way back down here. That's kind of wild. But there is another macro value area that I'm looking at, right? So let me go ahead and hide the macro range and pull up this macro volume profile. So this is the same profile, just incorporating a little more, a few more candles, right? Come back up to the daily. So that value, there is another important value area low, and this was really the value area that I was looking at on the way up. Resistance, resistance, resistance all throughout here, and then once you flip it to support, right, that is where you could look for the move up to the POC, which is not marked out. Let me go ahead and do that. Bada boom, right? That's where you're looking for the move. Flip that to support, which happened right here. Move up to the POC. Flip that POC, look to go to the value area high. And you can see that POC is the same, right? It's still holding as support. So again, if you lose that POC at 23.22, probably going to be likely to come back down here to about $1,900, $2,000, which is, they're pretty close to each other, right? I would probably be looking at this volume profile over the other one just because it's a it has more candles involved, right? So the levels are just a little bit better for me, but they're very similar, right? It's not too far off. But there you go. That's kind of the macro outlook there. Let me go ahead and drag this into macro range. Let me go ahead and hide that. And now let's take a look at the current kind of situation that we got going on here. So let me pull up some TA. That's the lower TA. Okay. So, it's very similar to Bitcoin, guys. Golden pocket value area low is going to be key resistance, right? So if we do work our way up here, just like Bitcoin, actually just pull it up here. Where is it? Current, right? Just like we're getting that rejection at that golden pocket value area low, right? Very similar to Ethereum, right? If we come up here with ETH, golden pocket value area low going to be absolutely key. And this is coming in between about 29.50 all the way down to about 28.73. So that's your next major resistance level. If you get up there and you're able to flip that golden pocket, that is where I would expect the 3,000s to come in. Between the 786 golden pocket here, and then flip that, you can look to go to the POC value area high. So these are the three major levels of resistance. If you guys want to pause this, grab that range, pause it here, grab that range, and pause it here, grab that range if you want the exact same levels. So there you go. That's kind of the medium term, and now let's go on into the local, which I'm actually going to do fresh here with you guys on the live stream here. So let me hide the upper levels. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this little range here, right? We'll grab Frankie Candle's Essentials. Shout out to Lux Algo. Bada boom. Bada bing. Bada boom, right? I'm going to hide that auto fib. Shout out to Frankie Candle's Essentials. Get your auto-populating Fibonacci divergence detection and sauce can emojis. And cool thing about this, I show this almost every single time. If you like pulling your divergences from a custom indicator, right, or a separate external indicator, you could choose for the indicator to pull your divergences from that actual indicator, right? So I'm using Market Cipher B, so I can actually have it pull my divergences from market cipher B, right? So now it's going to show me any divergences on market cipher B, which could definitely help you find some trades, right? Because if you're looking at this as your volume profile, price comes up to the value area high. This is where you want to be looking for shorts. This red line is letting you know that there's a divergence, right? And that divergence is indeed there on market cipher B, right? And then you get the sauce can emoji, which is not a sell signal or a buy signal, right? It's a confirmation signal. So you're seeing this. Hey, bearish divergence on the 45-minute here. Money flow starting to come out. And then once you see that sauce can, it's a little bit of confidence that you're probably going to get that return into the POC at least, if not down to the value area low. Here, you only got to move to the POC. And then you can see here we approach that value area high, but there was no divergence on market cipher B, so there's no divergence line. Kind of nice if you're looking to simplify my trading strategies and not have to worry about where to pull your fibs, etc. But yeah, locally here, guys, I will say, bada boom, bada bing. Yeah, it's kind of a similar situation as Bitcoin, right? So if we come on down to some of these lower time frames, right? 30-minute bull div is printing. Confirmed 45-minute bull div is printing. And these are definitely the levels I'd be taking, right? So let me mark these out in case anybody wants these. Right, bada boom. Grab the locket. POC sitting here, value area low sitting right here. So, 27.30 value area high, 26.52 POC, 25.87 value area low. So right now, I'll be honest, right? Like we probably have, okay, yeah. So, I mean, maybe we can get a move up here to 26.13 potentially. But right now, you really want to get, like, it's very similar to here, right? Like, we didn't have the divergences down here, but approach the value area low is going to be key resistance until proven otherwise. Once you get back into the value area, flip that value area low. Next place for price to likely go is going to be that POC. Flip that POC back to the high, right? So if we, right now locally, you want to be able to get above this value area low. If you could hold it as support, POC at 26.51 is likely, or the next likely place for price to go. Flip that POC. Look to go to the value area high, right? So this is definitely the local context I would be looking at things in. We did get an SFP of this wick, but I'll be honest with you, like these SFPs, like this was barely tapped, right? God, Mrs. Candle's playing football down there. But yeah, we didn't get a long SFP wick here, but we did technically, tap that low. But this low is suspicious, I will be honest. I wouldn't be surprised, right? And especially with the daily red dot that is likely to print here, right? Once that prints, right, somewhat likely to get a continued move to the downside, right? 90-minute money flow also trending down. See what that 90-minute green dot gives you. But yeah, like if that daily red dot prints, I wouldn't be surprised if we come take these lows. Now, you might be asking yourself, Frankie, what is that key level on Ethereum that will likely hold us back from, absolute destruction? And that level, in my opinion, here would be very similarly, right? Your macro POC of that larger range that we were just looking at, right? Come up to a daily time frame, right? This macro POC here is that key level and also has confluence locally with your golden pocket when pulled from the low to the high of this range, right? So this is your key level on Ethereum, in my opinion. Now, the nice thing here with ETH, let me zoom out a bit here. Bear with me. No MPOCs. Yeah, so we do come down there. I mean, you have your spider line trying to save you, but for the most part, it's that macro POC, right? Like this macro, you lose this POC, very likely. I'm trying to see what this line is. I think this line is from this range. It's about, I don't want to extend it to the right. Value area low. Oh, yeah, POC. Yeah, so these are the two key levels for sure, right? This is the naked. I guess I don't have this. Is this not? Yeah, I guess not. Okay. But yeah, that POC here, 786 confluence. These are the two key levels. You lose this POC if that 786 at 2239 does not save you. That's where you're at risk of coming down to the 1900s, in my opinion. 1900s was a great time. But there you go. That is what I'm looking at on Ethereum. Actually, my long letting the premium Discord. Actually, did I ever? Hang on. Let me just. I don't think I'm gonna leak anything here. Bada boom, bada bing. No! Oh no! This is unbelievable. Shout out to the premium Discord. No way. No way. Well, I'm going to send something to the premium Discord. Sorry about this, guys. I just was writing this right before the show and never sent it. Well, dang. Well, dang. Ignore that, guys. Ignore that. That's my fault. Oh, my God, so annoying. It's so annoying. Anyway, guys, but there you go. Got a nice little sauce can emoji here as well. So maybe we can get that continuation up. But yeah, oh, wow. This is, I don't even care that I'm in the trade. That's really annoying. Well, anyway. Oh, boy. All right, well, there we go. Let's go ahead and check out, shout out to Wix, shout out to Wick589, the BTC perky price at #value. Drop those sauce cans in the chat if you're finding any value in this live stream, guys. I appreciate everybody being here. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out XRP. And, shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. He's probably like, Frankie, the altar here. And I'm probably just not seeing it. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Unless he might still be counting up the votes. You never know. But let's see. We will take a look at, sounds like Korean barbecue. I don't know if I've ever had Korean barbecue. Shout out to Wick. There's those sauce cans, baby. Let's go. Let's see. Doge to $1. Shout out to Jose. Shout out to Dennis. Said reset weekend, full moon, Sunday or Monday. Shout out to Dennis. As much as I like to joke about the moon phases like being like silly, they play out. I don't know. I don't know. Apparently, I don't pay attention to them really, but apparently they play out more often than they don't. It's pretty interesting. Someone actually explained to me why that happens, but I forget why it is. But yeah, shout out to if you test the moon phase indicator, apparently it's very accurate. Shout out to Zach said Korean barbecue is bussin'. You're missing out. Shout out to you, bro. Maybe I should get Korean barbecue tonight. Hang on. I'm gonna tell Mrs. Candles to go find some Korean barbecue. I don't know if they have that down in the South. We just got fried everything. Let's see. Can we get Korean BBQ tonight? She probably doesn't even know what that is. She's probably like, what is that? Anyway, let's go ahead and continue on here. Dang. I will say, if this winds up coming to the value area high, yeah, beautiful, what's the word I'm looking for? Not advertisement, but a beautiful, I don't know. It'd be nice to see that sauce can play out. But anyway, let's go ahead and someone said Doge to $1. Let's go ahead and check Doge. We check Solana every single day. Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's take a look at Doge here real quick. Wow. Okay. So yeah, like even here, guys, I'm not gonna lie. Like the idea of trading these volume profiles, right? Obviously, you look to go to the value area low, POC, and then the high. Once you hold that value area low, you're expecting to start your journey to the value area high. However, POC is always going to be your TP1, right? And I'm not going to lie, guys. Someone said it the other day. They were like, Frankie Candle's Essentials on TradingView is a money printer. Now, I want to preface this, right? Like, nothing is a money printer. Nothing is going to make you, easy money every single day. Like, it's always going to be hard. You're always going to have to make tough decisions. You're always going to have mixed signals. Nothing's going to be that easy, right? But just to show you, right? Like, this is, and again, I have nothing to gain by showing this free indicator. We made this to help the community. There's no email. There's no nothing to get this. But this is very, very nice if you want to learn how to trade volume profiles because it helps you understand what I look for without having to see it yourself. It is pointed out to you on the actual indicator. You come up to the high, deviation above the high, twice, right? You have the deviation sauce can, back to the POC. Your next deviation, right? You had a bearish divergence, at least on Market Cypher B, if that's what you were looking at. Marks it out for you. Sauce can, you're expecting to go to the POC. And then at this point, you could either, take a TP1, close your whole trade. Me personally, I usually take a TP1 here and then move my stop loss to break even, in which case, or stop loss to entry, which would have been probably somewhere up here. So you might have been able to hold that all the way to the value area low. But you can see, right, bearish divergence, sauce can, at least back to the POC, right? Then you go back to the low, divergence, sauce can, at least to the POC, right? So over time, this is a profitable strategy for sure, and you don't even have to look at it. Like, this indicator is OP. Also, shout out to Mark said it's expensive, though. Shout out to Mark Dutch. Dave Digital in the chat. What is going on, bro? Good to see you in here. Shout out to Dave. Dave, did you just get back from the gym? You probably did. Let me know. Shout out to Dave Digital. DD's in the chat for Dave. Let's go. Double D's for Dave. The letters, guys. The letters. Not the parentheses and the O's. The letters. With the Bruce Buffer emoji is amazing, bro. But yeah. Unbelievable. Let's see. Shout out to Ryan. Said I use your indicator all the time. Shout out to Ryan. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate it. Hopefully it's helping you out. Hopefully it helps you out. But yeah, and we also have some interesting stuff in the works. Not in the works, but I won't say anything. But anyway, but yeah. So as we see here, right, we don't really have the I mean, you do. It's kind of wonky, but you do have a 45-minute bull div here, which again could potentially work your way up to that value area low, which is going to be key resistance. I'm just going to give you the local levels. I think we talk about the long term on everything so much that it's very repetitive. So I'm just going to give you the local levels, right? So yeah, this is going to be your key resistance, 786 POC. These are your major resistances on the way up. It's kind of annoying, right? I really prefer to see the golden pocket 786 do something like this, because then at least you have this level here of the 786. You know that you want to flip the 786 to get a move to the POs. And then, like, once you get above that, you could look to fill the whole range. But in this case, you have a pretty significant amount of resistance, right? So you can flip the golden pocket. 786 is likely. Flip the 786. POC is likely. So really the key level you want to flip here is really the POC to see the high come in. But, yeah, I mean, look, you're just getting the push right now. I mean, let's see. We'll put a trade tool here, right? We'll put a position tool. We'll just say we got in here. All right, we're looking to go to the POC. We'll see if it plays out. It may not, right? The final TP here for me would be the value area high, right? So 6% potentially, but we're going to see if we can get at least to here, right? Get at least to the value area low. But this is kind of, again, this is not a trade setup. I'm not telling anybody to take this trade. This is not financial advice. You're responsible for your own financial decisions, right? Do not do this, right? It's just for experimental purposes. I am not actually in this trade, so if this does not play out, I don't care, right? I would like to do a much more analysis to actually take a trade, but I just want to show you guys how these volume profiles work, right? Key resistance level number 1, sitting right here at 10 cents, right? 786. It's all at 10 cents. It's all like fractional. But yeah, these are the major levels of resistance, and I'll put lines so you guys can actually get the numerical values of these. Bada boom, right? So if we can get above that value area low, go to the POC, go to the value area high. And you can see already starting to play out a bit here. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, 80-minute bull div potentially printing. So there you go. Pretty nice. Let's see what happens, right? So those are your local levels. Bada boom, whoops, bada bing. There you go. All right. And I'm not even going to do the higher time frame analysis, right? I will just mention this, right? Daily red dot is printing, right? So if this is going to continue us down, like, you're not looking for this thing to shoot up to all-time highs, right? This is the importance of understanding your time frames, right? And because I was sick, it kind of messed up my top-down analysis video that I was going to do. I mean, we'll still do it, but it just messed up the time. I was hoping to release it yesterday, but I got sick, so I was unable to do it. But that video will be coming soon. It's I think it's basically going to be titled Understanding Time Frames, and I'm going to explain how you should be viewing time frames, how to do top-down analysis, starting on a higher time frame and moving your way down, creating not only a sound trading plan, but a bias, right? Because you don't want to be like looking for all-time highs when you have daily red dot and money flow coming out on the higher time frames. But locally, we could easily see that retracement potentially to that value area low. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue on here. Shout out to Lars, said Bitcoin doing a pumpy now. Shout out to Lars. Let's go. Pumping that Kim K. Shout out to Lars. You were right. You were right, bro. Kim K never lets us down. Should we get a Kim K emoji in here? Let's see. Let's see. Shout out to Priest XBT, says, Frankie, I would like to know what is your opinion on the top 10 without BTC and stables and maybe Solana, like why nothing is breaking all-time highs. Shout out to Priest. To be honest, let me actually pull up token metrics really quickly. Shout out to token metrics. This is something I want to start showing a little bit more Token Metrics is a really cool tool. They use AI to find. Hey, shout out to Hannah King in the chat. What is going on? Princess of the Candle Mafia. Drop those tiaras in the chat for Hannah. What is going on? Hope you're doing well. But yeah, Token Metrics uses AI to. I won't go fully into it here, but let me pull this up really, really quick. Bada boom, bada bing. So yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I just don't think. I don't think we've seen the alt run, the alt season that everybody wishes for yet, right? Because to be honest with you, like, what did we see? And we talked about this the other day. We talked about this, I think, last week, where we saw a lot of the hype and a lot of the liquidity that goes into the altcoins, right? The utility-based altcoins, right? Your Cardanos, your Solanas, although Solana did rip quite a bit. Your Links, your Cosmoses, your Ondos, right? Like your actual coins that have real utility. A lot of that liquidity went into meme coins, right? And we talked about this, like, I'm all for meme coins, right? You can make a ton of money trading meme coins for sure. Obviously, most of them are scams. Almost all of them go to zero. But if you could capitalize on them at the right time and take your profit, there's a lot of money to be made. But that is where, those meme coins sucked a lot of liquidity out of the market, right? And I think that's why we haven't really seen the alts run just yet. I also don't think that we're at the point in the cycle where you typically see the real altcoin rally, right? We had the AI coin, the AI boom a while ago, right? And then we saw the meme coins go crazy, and the meme coins kind of come up and go crazy randomly. But, I just don't think we're at that point in the market, right? Like, you pull up like just the Bitcoin chart right here on the weekly. Right, like typically, right? Let me pull this. Let me pull up this next to. Don't pull the. I guess I could pull this up with others. Okay, so actually, I think that's what you were asking about. I forgot who said it. Shout out to shout out to Priest, right? I guess this is probably what you were looking for is others. So we just look at this, right? We zoom out on the weekly. Yeah, I mean, we're not really at that point, right? Like where you typically see the altcoins run like crazy. So yeah, I think it's a different. It's a mix between not being in the right part of the cycle just yet, right? I think there is patience that needs to come in here. And then also, like, maybe we would have seen some of the alts run a little bit harder if the meme coins weren't sucking out all that money. So I think it's like a twofold answer to your question there. So hopefully that helps you out. It kind of answers your question a little bit. All right, let's see. Bada boom. Shout out to Jiren said, quite often we end up coming back on these trades. Frankie doesn't take and... say, did anyone take this as it played out beautifully? Shout out to Jiren. Yes. Don't take them, though, right? This is not financial advice. Here's the thing, and this is why I say this, right? Let me pull up, let me hide this again. What did we just do that on? Doge? Let's pull up Doge, right? So the reason I say this, different Doge chart. Am I tripping? There it is. Okay. So the reason I say this, right, is because I wouldn't just long this, right? I would not just long this based off the bull div, but I'm just making like rough estimations here on the live stream. Like if I did full analysis on all of these coins, it would take a long time, right? I would pull this up on Exo charts. I'd be looking at the liquidity heat map. I would be going to the different time frames. So yes, I know a lot of times, like I think there was a pretty good example on Ondo a while back. I'm not going to try to find it. But there was an example where we were showing the Lux Algo entry strategy. And I was like, this might play out, right? Like don't follow it, but it might play out just to show like just to educate, right? Just to show you guys kind of what I look for and why, right? This 45-minute bull div may give you a move up, right? But I just like to show like what I look for as resistance on the way up, right? But if I were to actually take this trade with a significant amount of money in hopes of coming up to the POC or value area high, I would have to look at a ton of other stuff that would take a long time to look at on the live stream. So this is just kind of like for fun. But yes, even if they play out a lot, this is not meant, right? If I were going to tell people like, hey, I'm going to take this trade, let's see if it plays out legitimately, I would want to do a lot more analysis. I wouldn't just be looking at a 45-minute bull div, with whatever else we were looking at. That's pretty much all, right? And in the context of the volume profile, right? Because as you find this imbalance, right, if price does retrace, which we know a 45-minute bull div can give you, right, where is price going to gravitate to? It's going to gravitate towards that previous area of balance, right? More specifically, the POC. Because that's the strongest level within the profile, right? The area where the most volume was transacted is the strongest magnet within the volume profile. And that is why oftentimes when you come up to the POC, you do kind of stick to it a little bit, right? And that's why it is. So shout out to Jiren. Yeah, don't just take these as like willy-nilly trade setups. This is not what they're for. It's just for educational purposes only. And I'm not saying that like in a funny way. Like, I'm serious. Like, these are just for educational purposes. If I were being witty or cunning, I guess would be the word maybe, I'd be like winking or something. But shout out to Jiren. Good to see you in here, bro. All right, let's see. Shout out to K Diggity. Said we're about to get a 10-minute trade management lecture, but it's so true and so needed. Yeah, absolutely. Maybe that was the 10-minute lecture. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Shout out to Khaled. What is going on, bro? DJ Khaled. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. Let's see. Hey, shout out to Preset. I already thought that answer. Just wanted to see what your thoughts were. Thanks for your confirmation. Shout out to you, brother. Absolutely. Shout out to Khaled. Let's get it. Let's see. Shout out to Crespo Crypto. Says, I love when people say when institutions get involved, there will be less volatility. Like, yeah, okay. Shout out to Crespo. I actually agree with you. I do think, getting the institutional money in will stabilize the asset in a weird way. But then you let the evil spirits of manipulation in as well. So yeah, which could add a lot of volatility. So I agree with you, bro. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and move on here to, let's go ahead and shout out to Rob. Rob's probably like, Rob, I assume you put the alt list in. Let me see. I probably missed it. Bro, if you could drop that in there. Or maybe we'll just let's just freestyle it tonight. We took a look at Doge. We took a look at, Jupe, shout out to Marcus. Yeah, sure. You're the first one I saw. Let's check it. Okay, so Jupe. I mean, yeah, this is kind of a similar example. Right. Bull div here on the 45-minute. Right. In this case, you did get the move up into the value area low. Starting to get a little bit of resistance there as we speak. Although this, I would move this to complete the full profile here. So, yeah, getting a little rejection here. But, yeah, you know what? Somewhat, pretty similar to, I'd probably look at more something like this locally for Jupe, right? You have the bull div on the 45-minute. Gave you a little move up, but as of right now, your key local levels on Jupe, good old Jupe. Bada boom. Bada bing. Bada bang, right? Yeah, so this would be the local range I'd be looking at. Now, again, I will. Jupe looks a little different. Yeah, Jupe doesn't have the daily red dot just popping up immediately here. Let's see, 6 hour, 4 hour, 3 hour. Yeah, a little 3 hour bull div, a little wonky, but it's there. But yeah, I would personally, right, for me, I would like to look at this in the local context, right, especially with ETH looking to print a daily red dot here potentially. Right, that daily red dot. I was going to say, am I tripping? That's a 16 hour. Right, daily red dot potentially incoming here for ETH, right? So if that is going to give us a bigger move down, it's not that you can't look for the local longs here, but I wouldn't look for them to go to all-time highs just yet, right? So that's why I'm looking at this local range sitting between 82 and 78 cents. So if this does continue up, the level to flip here is 78 cents. Back up to the POC, flip that, back up to the value area high. So there you go. That's the local context I would look at. Now, again, kind of to what Jiren was saying, like, if you were, this is too late to long in my opinion, right? Like, I don't know if I'd be looking, It depends, right? With a target of the value area high, you could potentially long up here, right? And again, like I wouldn't just enter this long because of this bull div, right? I would want to look to lower time frames. I would want to do other analysis, but this is kind of the idea, right? If this was calling for a long 45-minute bull div, maybe the start of your analysis, right? Maybe like, hey, 45-minute bull div, this could potentially give us a move up, right? Like, let's just, for example, say, look at this 45-minute bull div, right? Not that it has to play out the same, but you have lower lows, higher lows, and you get a little continuation to the upside, right? So if you think something like that's going to happen, that could be the start of your analysis, right? Because 45-minute bull divs typically give you moves up, right? This is not just at one time. Right here, right? Lower lows, higher lows, continuation up. Lower lows, higher lows, continuation up, right? So that could give you like a bias of like, hey, I think we might continue to bounce here, but there needs to be other analysis there. You can't just long a random bull div, right? But this is kind of just like an idea. Like if you were to find your confirmations based off this, right, it would be value area low, POC, value area high. Bada boom. Not a trade setup. Please do not just take this based off of what I just said. Even if they play out sometimes, it's okay. Just educational purposes. But let's see. Yo, shout out to Rob said, Frankie Candles, pay attention, jeez. Pin my next comment. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate you. All right, we're at 418 likes, guys. I think we still have enough people in here to get to 550. Smash that like button. Let's see if we can go from 418 to 500. I mean, we did well last time. Let's let's go 475 by 655. Let's get to 500. Yeah, let's go 500 by 6 by 7 o'clock. Let's get 500. Everybody smash that like button in 3, 2, 1. Smash it right now. Already at 422. I think we're going to get 550 tonight. Let's go. Shout out to Golden. What is going on, bro? Thank you so much for the super chat. He said, Frankie, question for you. What signs do you look for to determine if price action is market manipulation or genuine? Shout out to Golden. Well. I actually do have some very specific things that I like to look at, right? Now, number one, right, there's a couple different ways you could look at this. In my opinion, right, the only real way to, I don't think there's a way, at least, to my knowledge, to, guarantee that it was manipulation, but simply, market cipher A, right, the yellow X's oftentimes indicate manipulation, but in my opinion, right, so if you're just looking for, kind of a quick, it's especially on the higher time frames, I will say, yellow X's on a higher time frame, I'll go to Bitcoin so we get a little more price history. A lot of times those yellow X's are indicating big moves, right? The yellow X is in my opinion, right? In my experience of using Market Cipher, and I'm sure CryptoFace can either confirm or correct me if it's wrong. It's kind of the most bearish thing, right? When I see a yellow X, it's I if I see a blood diamond and a yellow X, those are both bearish, but the yellow X kind of makes me think yikes, right? And they oftentimes indicate manipulation. Now, if you wanted to go a little bit deeper than that, what I like to, a lot of times, manipulation for me, you would have to be looking at the order flow or even the order books where, you'd have to see, you could watch the actual orders come in, or swing failure patterns are oftentimes manipulation. And again, there's no way to really confirm that. But oftentimes, right, what will happen, and I talk about this all the time with swing failure patterns, right? When you have a wick like this, oftentimes what will happen is institutions or market makers can't use market orders, right? They can't just click the button and enter the market. They have to use limit orders. And the reason for this is because of fees, right? Fees, slippage, etc., right? They really need to use limit orders. So the problem with limit orders is they need the liquidity, right? So basically what they do is they will find out where the stop losses are sitting, right? So if they know hey, there's a lot of liquidity sitting down here, there's a lot of stop losses here, what they can do is push the price down into those stop losses, right? And then once those stop losses get triggered, it causes price to push to the lower, to the downside, right? In this case, filling their large limit order, right? So there's not really one thing that I could say I look at that's that was manipulation, but you could argue trading SFPs could be like looking for manipulation, right? Now, not all SFPs are manipulation, and I think a common misconception is that institutions are hunting your stop loss to hurt you, right? They don't care about your stop loss, right? Like they're just looking to fill their orders, right? So it's kind of hard to pick out that one thing. But, sometimes when you're looking at like swing failure patterns or, to liquidate people to fill larger orders, that is oftentimes, could be manipulation, right? So just keep that in mind. So that's kind of what I look at. But yeah, to really, really know, I think you really have to be looking at the order flow, the actual order books where the resting liquidity is, and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully that answers your question, Golden. Let's see. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. We took a look at Doge. We took a look at Jupe. Let's take a look at Sheeb, because I forgot who asked for it in the beginning of the show, but someone did. So let's do it real quick. Sheeb, respecting that POC. I think we already looked at this the other day. Yeah, Sheeb respecting that POC perfectly. So, yeah, you're kind of just in between balance here, right? You have your value area down here sitting between 1258 all the way down to 825, right? And then your upper value is sitting between 2046 and 444.82, right? So this is kind of your, support levels. If you break down below that value area high, this POC and this value area low, you're probably going to wind up respecting this value area. If you stay above this value area high and get a pump, the keyest level of resistance is going to be right here at 2053. Not only key resistance, but if you flip it, could call for more upside towards that POC and that value area high. But again, daily red dot printing, very similar to Ethereum. So keep that in mind, right? I wouldn't be expecting this thing to blast off to all-time highs anytime, this week or tomorrow, I guess I should say. 4-day exaggerated bull div is printing. But again, look at your money flow. Money flow indicates the longer-term trend. So again, even if this green dot gives you a bounce, right, it would have to be looked at as a lackluster bounce for a continuation down, just based off the money flow at least, right? 5-day money flow. Yeah, green dot popping up. You might be able to get a bounce here at some point, but yeah, nothing really screaming at me. Money flow coming out on the 3-day, 2-day, VWAP rolling over, daily red dot printing. Yeah, nothing really screaming out to me here, but those are the key levels I would be looking at for the most part. Yeah, you may fill that wick to the POC. Yeah, other than that, I'd let this thing settle down. I'd need to see some kind of I'd need to see some kind of more significant, I got to get rid of the smart trail here real quick. Come on. No. Bear with me, guys. I would need to see some kind of more of a significant market structure change on the lower time frames here to really look up. So, yeah, not too much to look at here on Sheep, to be quite honest. Let's see. Can we go back to BTC? Shout out to Tint by Designs. Shout out to you, bro. BTC. Anything? Any new developments over here? Let's see. Go to lower time frames. Yeah, 45-minute bull div gave you a little bounce. 80-minute bull div, 90-minute bull div. Yeah, I mean, these medium time frame green dots, if they do wind up printing, the 2-hour, the 3-hour, 3 and 4 hour are pretty far away from that. But yeah. Well, we'll let me pull up the hide that, pull up the local, right? Oh no, this isn't even the local that I want to look at. Let me hide this. No. So yeah, this is what we were looking at on Bitcoins. Bada boom. Whoops. So there you go, right? If this bounce continues, key level of resistance here, 59K. 59K is the level, right? Get above that level, you can maybe look for the highs to get approached again. But again, daily red dot here printing. We also had some blood diamonds here on some significant time frames on good old Bitcoin here. What was it? Yeah, 2-hour blood diamond. That was a pretty good indication of a drop. But yeah, if we do continue up here, 58,826. Also, yeah, this is big resistance, as we were talking about before. But if you want my full thoughts on Bitcoin, just scrub to the beginning of the stream. We went over it in detail, everything you need to know. And then just come back to us in 2x. But let's see. 453 likes. We are so close. We need 100 more likes. Let's see if we can hit 100. What about the monthly? Shout out to Just Will. Let's check the monthly. Bada boom. Yeah, for me, to be honest, like not much to really take away from the monthly as of right now. Still have 16 days, right? So plenty of time for this candle to develop. VWAP's coming down. Like nothing really directional here or anything like that that I'm looking at. Like even the weekly, not really much to take away from this just yet. But yeah. There you go. That's my thoughts. Shout out to Tints by Design. Said, thanks, Frankie. No problemo, brother. I got you. Shout out to Deja Vu wants to see Matic. Shout out to Wix Wi-Fi 99. Said, Frankie loves us so much, he's trying to give us free stuff. I will give, I'll try to double the free stuff if we can get some likes. Shout out to my mom in the chat. Look at me, Mom. I'm on TV. I say that every time she comes in here. Shout out to my mom, guys. She's the originator of the sauce here. She is the real originator. The only reason I got the sauce is because I've been eating my mother's sauce my whole life. Shout out to my mom. Literally makes the best sauce in the world. So shout out to her. Show her some love in the chat. She said, what's the sauce today, Ma? Bitcoin's going to zero, Mom. I'm going to be poor forever. I'm just kidding. But anyway, yeah, shout out to my mom. Oh, God, I love it. It's like a family affair in here. The Saucy Bossy. Shout out to Dewey. Let's go. All right, let's continue. Matic will get swapped for POL. You guys are funny, man. Okay. Yo, Crespo Crypto said, Frankie, I gave you 5 BTC. You haven't given me 10 back yet. Oh, shout out to Crespo. Be careful of the scammers out there, guys. I know Crespo's joking, but please be careful of the scammers out there. If I ever message you and ask you for money, it is not me. 1,000% not me. I will never ask you for money. The only thing I'll ask you for is a wallet address to send you money. I will give you money. I will not take your money. Or at least not to trade for you. But anyway, let's go ahead and continue. And I'll never DM you to tell you to send me money, by the way. But let's see. We can take a look at Matic. All right, there we go. Let's check it out here. Going to zero. Let's check out FTM. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. I just love saying it's going to zero. It's so fun. I mean, it's not far. It's like I wouldn't be surprised if someone thought it was going to zero. Let's see. Smash the like button from my mother. Shout out to my mom. Yeah, shout out to Tom says, do you pay attention to the 3-month chart, bear div on Bitstamp? That's a great question. I'm actually going to come off Matic here real quick just to kind of talk about that because that's a great question. And I've actually talked about this before, right? So 3-month bear div. Okay, so here's the thing, right? We actually talked about this when we were having the monthly bear div, right? Which, I mean, up until now has played out, right? It may still continue to play out, but it is currently correct, right? Because we were looking at the monthly. What is it, right? Higher highs on your price action, lower highs on your momentum waves. So, and it's actually playing out as I was explaining, right? Do I pay attention to this? Is this a bearish sign? Yes, right? This is, just the monthly red dot could be looked at as bearish, right? But, and it is a bear div, right? So it could easily play out, but a lot of people are thinking like, is that the end of the bull market, right? Because we're getting a 3-month bear div. Not necessarily, right? Because you have to take into account the cycle, right? Like back here, like what was the top? The top was a monthly bear div, a weekly bear div, right? But this weekly and monthly bear div was coming in at a very different part of the market, right? This, cyclically, was very likely the top, right? As we came up here, it's like a lot of things were flashing. The technicals were flashing. The timing of the cycle was like spot on for the top to be in, or at least close to being in. But you just had a bunch of influencers calling for 100K, right? But all we could see, right? I didn't have my channel back then, but all I could see here is a weekly and monthly bear div. And it's like, well, if we are going to make an all-time high, if we're going to make another all-time high, we're probably got to come down first. And to be honest, at that point in the cycle, it was like, unless we were going to bounce off 30K, and I remember this like it was yesterday, right? We came down to 30K, and everyone was like, that's the floor. Super cycle, right? That was the whole thing. There was going to be a super cycle. And once again, the people who were looking for something different to happen we're wrong, right? And I don't say that because I was right or anything like that, but it's just like when people are saying this time is different, they usually wind up losing, maybe not losing money, but they wind up being wrong on that prediction, right? So will the 4-year cycle change? Will the 4-year cycle be different at some point? I think yes, right? It's just like the natural maturization of a financial asset, right? As the market cap gets up there, it's going to behave differently, right? But luckily, I started my channel. I think it was January, right? So I started my channel like as we were coming down, and was very, very public that when we came up to this level on the weekly, right, and we had that weekly bear div with that weekly blood diamond, which was the first time we ever had that. I started my channel just in time. And I got roasted for that. I talk about this all the time. I got absolutely cooked in the comments for talking about this being the start of the bear market. And it literally was, right? So, and it wasn't my wizardry. It wasn't my crystal ball. It was simply the technical analysis. But back to the question. We are likely not in the point of the cycle where we are just going to go into another full bear market, right? So do I look at it? Yes. Is it bearish? Technically, yes. But it wouldn't be as bearish as if it was popping up at the cycle top, right? Like timing-wise. If we were near like September, September, October, November, December, right? Like if we start getting to like where we usually see these tops come in and then you're starting to print a monthly bear div, that would be much more alarming to me, right? But because of where we are, can it bring us down? Sure. Would I expect it to just be the bear market? Like would I expect it to be like 10 times worse than the monthly bear div? Probably not. Not impossible, but hopefully that makes sense. I forgot who even asked that question, but hopefully that answers your question. Hit the daggone button. Yo, shout out to Nick. Says, hit the daggone like button. Shout out to you guys. We're almost at 500. We need 50 more likes, guys. 5 free hats for 50 likes. I'll give a free hat for every 10 likes from here on out. Up to 550. But let's see. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on. Let's take a look at FTM. Bada boom. Phantom. Let's check it. All right. Turn off Market Cipher A. Bada boom. Take a look at the daily. All right, so we got a nice bounce off the monthly and weekly. And then this would be important support resistance flip right here, right? So you came down, very strong level. We don't look at Phantom very often, but that level did wind up giving you a pretty significant bounce. So I do not want to miss these live streams. Not that you should just long on support, but would have been a nice level to have as we got a 46% bounce off of that. But yeah, we really got to get back above these levels, right? Like this could be very, very strong resistance if we can't get back above them. But I will go ahead and take out, oh no, that level remains the same, right? Golden pocket, weekly naked point of control. Yeah, so that's your major area of balance. Let me see here, bada boom. Yeah, I mean, you could look at it this way. POC, value area high. So yeah, I mean, you have some resistance above, right? You bounce off the value area low up to the POC. You could look to get above that value area high. So yeah, this zone, right? Like really between 39 and 44 cents is going to be huge resistance. Got to get above this in order to come back up to your old area of balance, right? But until then, definitely going to be strong resistance here. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to purple because that is resistance. And then boom, whoops, boom. Yeah, so come on. There we go. So these are levels I would be watching. To be honest, looks a bit different than ETH, right? Red dot not even printing yet. Let me pull this fib real quick. Yeah, wow, you got the tap on the 786 to the dollar almost. So yeah, if you do get another move down, you could potentially look for a daily bull div here. This does look like it could set up for that. And maybe that's where you get the bounce. But right now, these are the levels I would look at. Like this monthly and weekly naked point of control is absolutely key to get above. Just basically got to break out of this area of balance to come attack the higher levels. So there you go. All right, let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. 508 likes, guys. We are so close. Let's do it. I know we can. Shout out to Truckin' for Show. Shout out to you, brother. Says, what's your Cardano prediction for the end of the bull cycle 2025? I mean, it's very hard to say, right? Just to like come up with a, it's like, I don't know, like people love the, I hope that this cycle is much more logical than last cycle. I think last cycle, like the content creation space was very much like just make a video, call for a random price, and get a bunch of views. Hopefully there's more information and education out there to understand that you can't just arbitrarily call for a price to come in. And even if you base it off a technical analysis, still doesn't like make it likely to happen, right? You have to have many things pointing in the same direction. But let me pull up a clean ADA chart, and I'll kind of explain to you what I would be looking for. Let me just pull up a clean chart here. Whoops. That's the market cap. That's not what I want. Bada boom. Okay, so I'll just clear this, right? So what can we do here, right? So what I would personally do is what I like to do is I like to look at the previous volume profile. So I would like pull this previous range, right? And I would look for that to get back to the all-time highs. But really what I like to do is like you could pull Fibonacci extensions or spider lines, right? Like a lot of times for Bitcoin, right? Like you could look at the spider lines because they extend past the current price as well as Fibonacci extensions. But if you just like, and this is very simple, right? Like this is not something I invented. This is not something that's like some secret strategy or anything, but a lot of people look at Fibonacci extension levels. So, once you get back up to this all-time high and you break the all-time high, between 378 and 488 would bring you up to that. Be like, probably like the first area I would look at. And then another thing you want to do is you need to look at the market caps, right? So like a lot of people, I talk about this all the time. The coin perspective, shout out to Tony D. Can you actually drop the coin perspective link? Like I have no affiliation with these people. But I just highly recommend their tool because I think it's something a lot of people need to look at. That's weird. Wait, you can't make this up. I just Googled the coin perspective, and the first link is a link to the coin perspective, but the thing says Cardano's market cap in perspective. What? What are the chances of that? Hang on a second. I Google it. Cardano's market cap in perspective. It's like it knew that we were looking at Cardano. Is AI listening to us, guys? That's crazy. Why did it just bring us right to Cardano? This is the weirdest thing ever. That is strange. I don't know why that happened. But yeah. So, like, here's the thing. Like, is Cardano likely to go to $31 this cycle? No, right? Because it would literally need Bitcoin's market cap, which I think is probably unlikely, right? For Cardano to overtake Bitcoin would be pretty wild, right? So, like, this is how you could start to, like, think about, like realistic price predictions, right? So this is the actual target. This is the actual price right now at 33 cents. A 2x would bring you to, so a 2x from the current price. I'm thinking from the all-time high. I'm like 65 cents. So let's say, let's actually look at the realisticness of this, right? Or the possibilities of this, right? Like, is it realistic for Cardano to go to, say, $5? We'll just call it an automatic. We'll call it a clean $5, right? Bada boom. So let's go. Okay, so $5. So it would be a 14x from the current price, right? And we would need $178.1 billion market cap, right? So this is how you could try to start seeing like the like logistics of like actually seeing these prices come in, right? Like the famous one is XRP. Right, XRP to $10,000. Right, not a chance in ever for that ever to happen. Right, it would be a $561 trillion market cap. So, and here's the thing: like, do I want XRP to go to $10,000? Absolutely, right. But like, extremely unlikely for a $561 trillion market cap. Right, so this should be pretty obvious. But this is like now XRP to $5. 280 billion, like, okay, like now you could start, like even XRP to $10, right? Like you could actually get like a realistic look, right? So if XRP had Bitcoin's market cap, right, the price would be, so we'd literally need to overtake Bitcoin current market cap to be $20, right? So that just put in perspective how unlikely $10,000 XRP would be. So there you go. You could use that. So you definitely want to keep that in mind, right? You have to pay attention to the market caps, right? But yeah, I would say, a $5 ADA, $7 ADA, right? What is this? This is the, let me pull up the actual levels here. Yeah, so the 236 is 776, and then the 3618, the 2618 is 776, and then 3618 is $10. You will never see me make a video saying ADA is going to $10, right? This is what a lot of people will do. It's very hard to say if that is going to happen. But yeah, these are the zones. Like once you break all-time highs, you're likely to get interactions with this level, right? This would probably be a TP for me, right? If I bought Cardano down here and got this 800% increase, right? You could potentially take some profits here, right? And then you go into price discovery. This would be a TP level. This would be a TP level. And this would be a TP level. Not buy down here and hold on for $10, right? This is how most people wind up holding. This is what most people do in their first crypto cycle is they buy, right? Even if they buy the bottom and they wait for that arbitrary price prediction to come in. It's like, I'm not selling until it gets to $10. And then it does something that they very likely did not expect, right? They think it's going to $10. It probably goes to $4. And then they're like, no. And maybe it wicks up to $6, right? And then they're like, I'm holding for 10. And then it's like, oh, okay, retracement. And then, oh no, okay. And then eventually they just wind up holding back down to the bottom. So, but yeah, these are levels I would really look at, right? And if you want like these simple kind of levels, the 2618, the 3618, the 1618 are typically like the common Fibonacci levels to look at for these. And again, it doesn't make it likely for price to go there, but if you go into price discovery, these are the levels that are going to be likely rejected. And the reason for that is because there's other people looking at these levels, right? So hopefully that makes sense. I know everyone wants me to come on here and say Cardano to $5, right? And you can make an argument for that. But yeah, I would just wait to crack all-time highs and then look at these Fibonacci extension levels and see and it also depends, right? Like what do the charts look like as we're approaching the highs here? Right? Like maybe it looks super bullish and it's like, I think $4 is very possible, right? And then you come up here and the chart still looks bullish, right? Like, or maybe you get a move up here and you get a pullback, but the chart looks really bullish. It starts retesting the previous all-time high and it looks really good. And then maybe you hold on for higher, right? And then when you get up here, maybe you're expecting $10, but you get some really bearish signals up here, right? So for me, it's all a technical game, right? If I came up here and the chart looked horrible, I'd probably take more profit. Right, but if I get up here, I'm a level-to-level trader, right? So if it gets up here, even on my long-term bags, right, if it gets up here and it looks bad, I'm probably going to take a little more profits, even if I thought it was going to $10, right? Remember this. The market does not care what you want price to go to. The market doesn't care what your favorite influencer said price is going to go to. The market cares about what the market is going to do. But luckily, by using the charts, you can analyze the likelihood of this stuff happening by waiting for price to get to a key level and then looking and analyzing the chart and finding the high probability outcome. And sometimes you're going to take profit, and it's going to go on without you, and that is okay. Missed gains are none of your business. So remember that. So there you go. Hopefully that answers your question. But, guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. I went a little bit late today, but thank you all for hanging out with me till the end of the show here. Shout out to VW John said, this is the sauce. Shout out to VW John. There you go. Maybe I'll make a pre-recorded video kind of showing you guys like all I do to try to figure out where price is going to go or what kind of signals I look for to potentially see price come back down. So there we go. Let's see. Shout out to Flame says, hey bro, what are you expecting? Can I place a limit order around 54.5 or 49.5? Thanks. Shout out to Flame. Sure, you could do that. I mean, yeah, so for me, I don't really use limit orders, to be honest with you. And the reason for that is because, number one, it's just kind of like the way I trade. The only limit orders I will put are kind of like limit orders that, if it's like a bad situation, it's like listen, if Bitcoin ever went back down to, sometimes people stack orders like really low in case there's some kind of a scam wick. But for me, there needs to be more context to the question. So it's like, are you talking about a limit order at 54.5 for like a leverage long position? Is it a spot buy for all-time highs? There just needs to be a little bit more context there. But I will say 54.5 is the next local key level of support that I'm looking at. If we lose that 54.5 level, probably going down to like 47, in my opinion, 47.5, where we have those 2 naked points of controls. But, you know, there's nothing saying, like, again, if we get down to that 47.5, right, if I had a limit order there, this is why I don't use limit orders, because we got down to, say, 47.5, and the chart looks like garbage, and it looks likely to go back lower, then, you know, it might not be a good place to have that limit order, because that limit order gets triggered, and you're not looking at the chart ready to, like, analyze if it's going to bounce. Then you may just want to just hold off for lower. But an easy way to get around that is if you're looking to stack your bags long term, just don't go all in, right? Like for me, I'll put, a percentage in at 54.5, right? And then it goes down to 47. I put another percentage in, right? And then I'll just stack those buys all the way down until one doesn't get hit and price just reverses. So yeah, I wish I could give a little bit of a more like, I know it's like, can I put this order here and make money? It's hard to say. I can't really tell you where to put your orders because, you know, right now I could say, hey, 54 looks good. You put a limit order there, you get triggered, and then it just goes lower. And then it's like, well, what the heck? I thought that was a good level. But there's no way. There's no one on earth that can tell you put a limit order there, it's going to go back up. So that's what I would do. That's like the best kind of answer I can give you. Separate it, right? If I were you right now, or not if I were you, but personally, if I were looking to buy on the way down, put a little bit at 54.5, right? Put a little at 47, put a little bit at 42, put a little bit at 40, and eventually one of those limit orders won't get hit, and you'll just go back up. So there you go. Hopefully that helps you out. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Shout out to Jiren said, why do I have to X out of chat to see the like button? This UI sucks now. Yeah, shout out to Jiren. I hate when they, I know I'm in my 30s, guys, because anytime they change anything on the phone, on YouTube, anything changes. I almost said anytime they change something on the internet. So if that doesn't tell you I'm in my 30s, I don't know what will. But yeah, I feel you, bro. I hate when they change this stuff. Just leave it. There was nothing wrong with it. But yeah, with all that being said, guys, that is what I'm thinking about Bitcoin and the alts. So yeah. Pray for Bitcoin. Hopefully we can get that continued bounce. But if we do come back down, you guys have those, not only the key local levels, but that level that is the line in the sand before that potential next drop to the downside. So with all that being said, guys, I'll see you here, same place, same time, tomorrow night, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's all the time I got. Shout out to Flame, says, thanks, bro. Shout out to you, very helpful. Okay, good. Thank God I was able to help you. I wish I could just tell you when to buy, but you'll likely lose money doing that. So I really genuinely want you to make money. So there's my honest advice. Not financial advice ever, but yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love each and every single one of you. Shout out to Elite Ways. Shout out to Jay Violet. Shout out to WixWi599. Shout out to K Diggity. Shout out to Wick himself. Shout out to Manitor, VW John Flame, everybody in here. Thank you so much for being here. I love each and every single one of you. I don't just say it on camera. I say it because I mean it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them 2 bells ready. Space shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in mine, yeah.
Did we do it? 558 likes. Thank you guys so much for smashing that like button. I guess this means we have to give. Did we say 5 or 3? You know what? Screw it. We'll do 5 hats. 5 hat giveaways on tomorrow's live stream. Tony D, we'll give you guys a link on a video to like and comment on to get into the giveaway. So shout out to you guys. Thank you guys so much for hitting that like button. And I just want to say this out loud, guys. I did not murder my chair. I didn't do it, guys. I didn't do it. I swear. I know I'm smiling, but I didn't do it. Look, still alive. Come on. Lift your head up a little bit. There you go. See, I did not kill my chair. I did not do it. I don't care what anybody says. I didn't do it, guys. But with all that being said, guys, I'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you all for being here. I love each and every single one of you. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command, like, yeah, you about to see me on demand, like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the roll, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor.